Oh, it's working now. Good. Oh, it's working now. I changed my stream key. And I also changed the resolution. So I'm going to unpack my mods, and I'm going to make some changes because this sulfur mod that extracts the pyrite, for some reason, it is not working, and I need it to work. So I'm going to incorporate it into my own, part of it into my own mod. Show folder. Need that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this notepad here. And y'all can see what I'm doing. Uh-oh, I gotta get rid of this. So if we go into, well, you can't see it here, but there's config lists for the copy of the sulfur mod. This is all my notes and some of my changes, but I'm just using that as a background for so this is part of the mod here that makes the Mars concrete wall. That's okay. The resources list, which needs to be, so I need to expand this out. I'm thinking I'm just going to move everything. And before I do, I'm going to make a copy of my files. The last time I didn't do that and thought I lost everything. Alright, so these are the unpacked files. So now what I'm going to do is open my mod, and I'm going to go to my trace chemicals list, do is I'm simply going to make sure that what about the Mars Crete? I'm going to try to leave that one in there. Let's see. Because that, let's see, cut, save. Now, I already got sulfur in mine, so I'm just going to delete the sulfur. And add the pyrite. That takes care of the resources. Now the chemistry. Oh, wait a minute. Now you wait just a minute now. I forgot something. What if... No, I don't think I did forget something. If I look at his chemistry, there's only this, and it doesn't work. Because, well, I added some resources here that are not in his resource list, but they're in mine, so supposedly they should have shown up, but they didn't. I don't know why, so I'm actually going to remove the... Well, actually, the split pyrite worked. The collect-mized pyrite did not. I have no idea why. Because the pyrite was there, the calcium oxide, the aluminum oxide, and the magnesium oxide is supposed to be in this main list here. And I've got to really stretch this out. So if you look at my list, you'll see calcium oxide. Magnesium sulfate was respelled because of the number of letters. Let me look at that list again. Calcium oxide, aluminum oxide, and magnesium sulfate. Calcium oxide, oh, hello. I think I figured it out. I know why it doesn't work. I know why it doesn't work now. Damn. It's because in my list it's not aluminum oxide, it's aluminium oxide. Oh my god. So what I'm gonna do, that's the British English, the British spelling of it. Jesus. Oh my effing god. I fought with this problem for hours yesterday, and it's all because of the freaking spelling. That's just ridiculous. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that up. I'm changing this. Now, in the description for the cans, it uses a shortened version. I don't understand how it works yet. But when I tried it for my own chemicals, like here, it wouldn't work. So, since I have a naming convention issue, there's a title and a description. And I don't understand how all of these work yet. So, let's take carbon and what we're going to do with carbon is we're going to replace, actually let's leave carbon alone. It's something to do with these titles and descriptions, and I don't know the difference. I may have to do a run and look at the silicon dioxide and then make a change. But for right now, I'm definitely changing this to aluminum, and I'll just bring this over. This is my mod. Let me just put that out there. So I'll have to go through everything to make sure that aluminum is spelled correctly, and everywhere else what I'm. All right, so I'm gonna save this. So now that will actually work, because it's spelled correctly. My question is, if I go back to here, this is his resource list. Let's go back to my trace chemicals list. Let's see, I already have it added, except for the Marscrete, okay? So I think what I'm actually, well, Marscrete uses sulfur, doesn't it? Shit. So theoretically, you know what I want to do? You know what I really want to do here? I'm going to move everything to my, I'm going to move the resources in chemistry. So this is actually going to be called Now you wait just a minute, because that's going to be Marscrete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this Marscrete RSC. Okay, that's for the Marscrete resource, which is in his mod. For the chemistry, now we've got wait a second, for the Marscrete, it says input sulfur. And how does it collect the sulfur? See, that's a problem. It means that I would have to put that in his Wait, let me look at the chemistry again. Maybe I can do it then. This is all modified. And I've got the split pyrite. I've got access to sulfur here. Taking out sulfur from sulfur dioxide. None of that has to be incorporated in his mod. Just that it's a dependency on my mod for the change in the collection of materials. And then I can rename his mod. I guess I would have to do that. I think that would work. I think that would work. I think it would work. So this is his I've rechanged this to Mars pyrite, collect Mars pyrite, meaning it collects the pyrite out of a rock in a certain area. So now we've got two areas to look for. We've got a pyrite area to look for and a methane area. Okay. So now if I go back down to my resource list, I got sulfur and pyrite repeated here. This is the Marscrete list. Wait just a minute now. I don't know what the difference between surface and ground is. I wonder if ground has to do with rock and surface has to do with dirt. The sulfur comes from the pyrite, nickel. Why is calcium in here? Oh, this is mine. So I've got sodium, calcium, and nickel. And I believe that I removed those. This thing's really going to get spread out over here. Sodium, calcium, and nickel. I got calcium oxide, sodium oxide, and nickel is not in there. Okay, so that's good. These are the new trace elements. Actually, well, calcium has to be in there because it's separated. Oxide means that it's an OH. No, that's a hydroxide. Oxide means that there's oxygen at the end. So we get sodium oxide and calcium oxide and nickel and sulfur. Now sulfur is being repeated because it's in his mod, so is pyrite. So now I'm wondering maybe what I could... I gotta look at this again. I gotta look at his chemistry. There's magnesium sulfate, which was his. But I changed that. That's mine. Calcium oxide. Pyrite. I'm just wondering if I can't... Where's the sulfur? I'm wondering if I can't put the pyrite and the sulfur back in his list. That's what I'm wondering. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to grab... I'm going to grab the sulfur and the pyrite. And I'm going to put it back in his list so that his has got marshcrete, sulfur, and pyrite. The other stuff are chemicals that I would have re-added. So that should be okay. Now I'm just going to rename this back to pyrite config list, pyrite sulfur config list. Actually, I could just rename that as such. So now we've got the pyrite config list is the collection of the pyrite and the splitting of the pyrite. That's in his there. That's all taken care of. Marshcrete's done. That's done. And I think the only thing that I need to do now just go back here. I've got to go through my chemistry list. Aluminium. So what I've got to go through is I've got to go through the whole list and look for wherever aluminium is and change it to aluminum. And it's not a big deal. Aluminum. We live in the land of... Oh, it's even spelt wrong in the other thing too. Shit. My God. Well, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? It's all part of the job. Aluminium. I never liked that spelling anyway. Now I get to change it to suit my own purpose. Sorry, but hey, that's the way it goes. Where the hell is aluminum oxide there? Aluminium. Jesus. Aluminum. I'll have to make a change in my stream name. Where the hell is the other one? There's aluminum. Right there. So I'm going to go change my stream name here. And this is going to be resource mod changes and additions. So right now the major one is aluminum oxide, changing that to aluminum instead of having it read aluminium. And I'm changing that in all of the references. 1, and I had to change magnesium to Mg magnesium sulfate because of the number of letters. It would not find it. I believe that's what the problem was. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's what it was. And I've only made time changes to the Mars list of synthesizing and so on and so forth. I have not changed Earth, asteroids, or whatever yet. I guess we're not synthesizing anything with aluminum, which makes sense. Synthesized magnesium oxide. So the question is, why would I want to synthesize a chemical? Why would I want to synthesize methane, for example? Well, if I've got excess carbon and excess hydrogen, if I save it as methane, it might save me some canisters. But I'll already have canisters with the stuff, so why? I don't understand why. Unless if I'm making something else that requires, for example, well, there is nothing else. Methane, I guess, is really the only input that's used to create. So I guess synthesizing methane would be okay. And ammonia is created here. So I'll definitely have to split that off. And I don't think there's anything in there. So I think that's all done. So the resource list, again, has aluminum and aluminum oxide. Now that's actually going to, I wonder how that's going to get spelled in the description. So what I'm going to do now with my carbon, I'm going to let's do carbon and oxygen. Let's take carbon, and I'm going to put that in the, why is that on the surface? Something's not right. Oh, carbon itself is on the surface. I'll put carbon in the title, and then oxygen, I'll put oxygen in the description. I want to see what the difference is for the title and description in this TCOM, whatever the heck they're doing here. Now that should take care of everything. Now as far as the timings go, if I look at my chemistry list and we go to my synthesis, or actually splitting, what did I do now? So I've got everything set to 1, which is theoretically, yeah, I don't know what I've done here. I'll have to go back and test these timings. It's supposed to be set where it takes 2 hours to do any of the splitting of any of the chemicals. Doing the splitting the Mars rock. Wait, maybe that's 2 hours. No, I don't know what I did here. This is a longer period of time to split the Mars rock into its constituents. takes 40. I wanted to do 2 hours. If this takes 2 hours, oh, what this means is it's for every single unit. Meaning it's supposed to be set up where it does 2 hours for the whole can, which is, you know what I mean? That's how it's supposed to be set up. So I gotta figure out, everything is set here. So now I can go back into the game, and now we can go ahead and repack this stuff. And then once you repack everything, I've got to add them back in. Not the human waste one, because actually, copy and unpack. I could look at that split human waste again and compare it with mine, because I'm not using that. I'm doing my own human waste now. So the mods are in, and I've discovered that I can actually go back to my own scenario. I do not have to recreate another one. Now, when I get to a point where I'm ready to do the mission and I think that everything's working, which is actually coming pretty close, then I'll recreate the whole scenario. I don't know what the time setting is on this. I know it's fast. Let's go ahead and set this up like we were going to set it up if we were just actually playing the game here. Oh, shit. Let's just do that. We're going to grab soils up here. That thing's twisted around, ain't it? Well, I'm just gonna... there. It's gonna be a little bit shaky today. When these cables are laid down, the red end is up towards the front here, and red always goes to power. So in the beginning, it looks like what I'm going to be doing is connecting both cables up to two separate panels to start the, oops, oh crap, to make sure that I've got a lot of power going to that soil collector. I mean, it does use, a considerable amount of power to get going. So I'm gonna flip this over. And what we'll also do is we'll try to constrain ourselves to using one panel and cable at a time, as if we're playing the real game. And our first object is to create, to get our silicon dioxide so that we can separate that into our oxygen, to get our oxygen for the tent. And now it's more or less a matter of waiting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 40 units. I've got 10 units here. Now I don't have any power to this. So actually I'm going to cheat a little bit, but I'm not actually processing anything. I just want to look at the time. So it's 11:20. And I don't remember if I set the time to 160. I think it's set at 160. Because you see the sun's it's up there quite a ways. So like the morning's pretty much half over. If I get 20 units of Mars soil, I'm only going to end up with 8 units of oxygen. And I don't know how, if I recycle that tent, I thought it only used 1 unit of oxygen. And I honestly can't remember. I do know that when he went to sleep, he only used 1. I've got to go ahead and take this off because I don't know how long it takes. I have to check my how long it takes to split this. Oh my God, the split pyrite's not in here again. In fact, I don't even see. I don't know why that screen's flickering over there. I may have to go back and look at that video. I don't see the magnesium oxide. Split aluminium oxide didn't get changed. No, we want this. No, this is supposed to take 2 hours. And it's all done, you know? So I don't know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to empty this. Oh, actually that was the Mars soil that I did, and it was like instantaneous. Now we are splitting silicon dioxide. It is 1534. It's already done already. So those timings are way off. They're way off. Now I want to look at this large unit here. I mean, there might be something in here that I've missed. I don't know. There's the split. Well, that's the split pyrite. The split Marscrete. You know, all of the chemicals and everything's in capital letters. It's probably because it's easier to see. I don't know. So that other one is still not working. Aluminium oxide screwed up. Split aluminium oxide. Synthesized fertilizer. Ammonia, potassium, and human waste. Oh, that's not correct. Oh, you know, I bet I know why. Oh, fuck. That's not correct either. I wonder if that's in the original one. My human waste is not even showing up. My human waste mod. What the fuck? That was on there yet? I wonder if it's because I have to do a new scenario. I'm gonna go do a new scenario and check this out, I guess. I made changes before and they showed up. Now they're not showing up. So I have no idea. So the only way to figure that out is to do a new scenario. And that will be easy to do. Because I'm just checking my refineries. I think that's all I need. And everything is set to 1. Let's call it Q1. Everything is set to 1. There's no weather. I don't care about that right now. Remember I said where it said split aluminium? We're going to find out if that change was actually incorporated by using new items here. I can't remember if I did the solar panel or not. Alright, hopefully it's there, right? Aluminium, son of a bitch, what the hell? It's not there. And look at that screen over there on my end. very happy right now. I've lost more than I've gained. Oh my god, the split pyrite's not even on here now either. What the fuck? The split magnesium sulfate, I think I took that out. The human waste is all frigged up. None of that's even showing up. Wow. That's pretty bad. I'm going from bad to worse here. This is not good. I've gone from bad to worse. I've lost all my human waste recycles. The pyrite's not there. The collecting... everything's gone. I love this job. What the fuck? I don't know. I wonder if the config list name is too long. Oh my god, I'm baffled. What the hell? I've gone from bad to worse. I want to go back and look at my stream. Because I'm wondering about Split Mars Rock 2. Oh, split magnesium sulfate's not there. Sulfur's in that. What the fuck? I didn't even see the Epsom salt. why was the fertilizer... None of my new stuff is in here. God damn. Well, I made that change to carbon dioxide. I wonder... No. Well, carbon. I wonder if I make a change, if I'm supposed to make the change to both of them. That's carbon and oxygen. Micronutrient. Nutrient. Human waste. I wonder if it has to do with these titles. Now you wait just a minute now. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna change the title and description to the names. See, magnesium oxide was already in the game. Aluminum oxide is actually different because I respelt it. So I'm just going to change that title. And I changed carbon and oxygen to both of those. Sulfur dioxide is another one. I got hydrogen sulfide in there, iron oxide, so all that stuff's already in the game. Nutrient, micronutrient. Now the other question is, why does fertilizer show up? My mod should override the other mod, but the problem with that is happening is if the game mod has something in there, but it's my list, okay, my list, my resource. The name that I'm using is identical to the name that the main game uses. So that means it's a mod. That means it's actually should be replacing what's in there. Well, now you know what? The unpacked version has letters that are not capitalized. All the letters are not capitalized, but they are the same names. So if I go, wait, I don't want that one. I want to look at synthesis. See, there's synthesized fertilizer right there. Now the other question is why, what about the mods? Alright, I changed aluminum oxide and sulfur dioxide in the title, in the description. That may be the reason. I don't know, I'm not very hopeful here. I want to take a chance and use the same scenario. It might save me some time. I'll give it a try here and see what happens. He went fucking flying. the locating of the pyrite's not there. Split magnesium sulfate is in there. Where's aluminum? That got changed. The output is for aluminium, so that's not good. That needs to be fixed. Synthesize Epsom salt. Okay, so there's no fertilizer in here. And synthesize water 1. That's the liquid human waste. That is there. Okay, so everything is there except for the collecting of the pyrite. And my stream is really screwing up over there, and I really would like to know why it's doing that. So I feel like we're making some progress here. Alright, so I've got split Marscrete and split pyrite. Aluminum oxide. I don't see split Mars soil 3 or rock 3 is not in here. Aluminium's is not right. That has to change. Fuck. I'm gonna write this down. I might be leaving and taking off. Alright, so split Mars rock 2. Carbon dioxide, carbon. I think changing those names fixed it. Synthesize water 1. Synthesize water 2 adds the nitrogen. The nutrients gives me a nutrient, gives me the first nutrient. The second, adding Epsom salt and iron gives me the micronutrients. Something's not right with this. Because I'm supposed to have... Yeah, there's some things missing. My methane ammonia beds are missing. Collect pyrite's missing. magnesium sulfate supposed to have water? The collecting of the pyrite is missing, and split. I didn't see split something 3 was missing. There's a lot of stuff missing. I did not see the other fertilizer in there that time, so that's a good thing. The nutrients, both the nutrients were there, but the trace, one of the trace nutrients is where I'm supposed to add those trace chemicals are not showing up. What? Alright, the Epsom salt, I'm going to change that. That's supposed to be an input. In other words, you've got the magnesium sulfate and the water gives you the Epsom salt. So I got that changed. The two syntheses are there. There's the nutrient and the micronutrient. One of the nutrients is supposed to have, oh, iron. Did that say iron? I think it did. But these 3 are missing. Why the fuck are they missing? One, two, three, four, 5. Synthesized nutrients was there. All 3 of these are missing. I don't fucking know why. Fertilizer. Oxygen, methane. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, son of a bitch, what the fuck? I don't. Wait a minute. What the hell? Oh my God. Carbon dioxide is not capitalized in the mod config list. It's not capitalized there. And I'm looking at the it's not capitalized in the main list for synthesis. And it's not capitalized for splitting. All the other oxides, from what I can tell, are capitalized. In my list, where the oxide list is, jeez, you gotta be shitting me, right? The name is not capitalized, however, oh my God. Carbon dioxide is not capitalized in the those are not capitalized because I just copied them over. I gotta look at all my Mars. That one's not capitalized. That one's not capitalized. That one's not capitalized. You know what the fucking problem is here? That one's not capitalized. Jesus. All the other oxides are capitalized except carbon. Now I'm looking at the synthesis. One of them is capitalized on synthesize. Oh, that's silicon. That one's not. That's in the nutrients. The fertilizer, all the fertilizer and the ammonia beds has carbon dioxide. The oxide is capitalized. F me. I don't effing believe it. I'm going to uncapitalize oxide in my 3 ammonia beds. Now, if I go to his I think Marscrete was there because sulfur, okay, is correct. I've got calcium oxide, aluminum oxide, I wonder if there's a spelling that's incorrect somewhere. Fuck. Sulfur, iron sulfide, sulfur dioxide, aluminum oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide. All of my oxides are capitalized like they should be. Why the fuck isn't his working though? This is what bothers me. All it takes is one thing to be out of whack, and it'll take out everything. I don't fucking know. I just don't fucking know. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I need to see some kind of improvement, you know? Aluminum oxide. Now there was still split aluminum. Those should show up, but I'm still having a problem with something. Aluminum oxide, split Mars rock 2. Split Mars soil 3 is not showing up. Magnesium oxide, aluminum. Nickel. There's nickel there. Split Mars soil. Iron, silicon, potassium, oxygen. And I'm going to change. I want to add something here. Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't know if you can see this because it's down at the bottom. Maybe I can scroll this up here. So this will be a 3. And the input's going to be Mars atmosphere. Now the output's going to be methane. Oops. Some carbon dioxide. argon, nitrogen, oxygen. There won't be any oxygen. This is going to be methane. And there will be less concentrations of carbon dioxide. I'm going to try this. I don't like these damn long titles. So let's take the output's going to be, let's say, 4 carbon dioxide, and the methane's going to be well, if that's 15, I've got some nitrogen coming out and some argon. This should be a 1. 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's make this a 3. Make the nitrogen a 1. And that will all add up. Well, there's some water there too. Sure, I don't see why not. I don't see why there wouldn't be water coming out of there. Water in the atmosphere. I don't know. Why don't we change this to a 10? So that would give us, so if I had, that would give me 50 units of methane. Carbon dioxide. Actually, you could make it a, maybe you could make it a 12. I don't know, 15? Oh hell, let's just make it a 15. There might be something wrong with this nickel. Why split Mars soil 3 is not coming up? So if I go to my resources and I look at my trace chemicals, config list. It might be because it doesn't show up as see, there was something else. If I look at his list, I swear there was something else. Well, he's got a trace chemicals list. Wait a minute, that's in mine. Where's his resources? Discrete sulfur and pyrite. I don't know. I'm just going to save this. I'm wondering about the resources. Well, it's in the resources directory. So nickel should show up here. Sodium, calcium, and nickel. Guess what? Son of a bitch. Look at the spelling between the title and the now everything is not capitalized except for the beginning of it. That's in my mod. I wonder if the capitalization was causing those issues. It had to be, if my ammonia methane beds show up now in the large unit, to which I think I'll just make a new mod, then that will tell me that those spellings are absolutely necessary. They have to be correct. And I still didn't change the output on aluminium for something. These fucking people are trying to call me. All because of this fucking car insurance thing, you know? I never ever will buy a fucking car from a dealer again. Never fucking do it. They practically ruined my life. Interfering with my phone. I'll have to get my phone number changed, and I don't want to, really. I like my phone number. I gotta change my damn stream too. That's pissing me off. I really gotta fix my stream. Alright, let's see what shows up here. Well, the pyrite's still not there. Aluminum oxide. I'm thinking about changing those naming conventions. But I don't know how they show up on the bottle. So I have to, I gotta collect potassium oxide. I gotta collect some stuff. Oh, there's the carbon and oxygen from the... Okay, see the difference here? So that both shows up. It's just the letters are smaller. That change is reflected. And magnesium sulfate. So now it requires 7 water as an input rather than an output, which is the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so that's there. There's my sulfur dioxide, which I changed. Aluminium, split Mars, rock. Two. I do admit, if everything's capitalized, I mean, it doesn't look as good, you know? It looks to me like it should be, like, not capitalized. It just looks better. Now I got this one here. I think it looks better with smaller letters. I still have a problem with this split aluminum oxide and Mars 2. Now hopefully we get down here and we're going to see my methane beds. That's 1, that's 2. Oh yeah, they're in here. I'll be damned, that's what it was. Okay, so now we've got 10 nutrients plus 1 micronutrients to get our fertilizer. Ten nutrients plus 1 fertilizer to get, that's our first methane ammonia bed. And this is a water production. So we actually get our fertilizer and the 10, well, it says 10 nutrients, doesn't it? Where's the micronutrient? There should be, okay, that gets me micronutrients. Wait a minute, something's still missing though. I should have fertilizer and micronutrients. No. I already have nutrients. I get 10 nutrients and 1 micronutrient, which is the iron and Epsom salt. Why does this guy keep moving? Nutrients. And 1 fertilizer. That makes sense, I guess, because the fertilizer has 10 more nutrients plus micronutrients. So I've got more fertilizer and a total of 20 nutrients. And the micronutrient is where? Where the hell is the micronutrient in this? It's in the fertilizer. So that nets me less. That gets me 20 methane. I mean, I wonder if I should drop that methane down. Because I'm creating more water. I think I've got to lose methane. Probably make it a 20. I'm going to change the methane and the carbon dioxide, I think. Well, let's see. Maybe the CO2 I need to leave. So I'm going to change that to 20. So that takes care of all of that. And what does not taken care of, split aluminum oxide. And I'm not synthesizing it. And Mars Rock 2. So that takes care of 3 changes. And the fact that the other split pyrite's in here, but so it all has to do with the I'm gonna stop my stream. It has to do with the spelling in in my 3 list for the new fertilizer beds. The carbon dioxide had a capital O in it, and so it does make a difference in the resource list if it's capitalized or not. And I don't see calcium, nickel, or sodium. I have not added. See, we have to collect sodium hydroxide, and we've got to split that out. So there's 3 more things to add. Wait a minute, let's see here. See, calcium oxide is not showing up here. It might be in the split Mars soil 3. I got split Mars atmosphere to methane. So I'll have to, instead of this split Mars rock, I'm going to call this collect. Alright, so let's go to the menu. We're making some headway, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream, and then I'm going to be back momentarily. And I still don't know why I can't get sulfur. There's something wrong with the sulfur and the nickel. But it shows up in the Marscrete. I think that was there. I gotta get some water. I will be right back here.